Welcome to Scarborough Toastmasters this month. And today we're lucky to have a young man who's traveled all around the globe. Welcome today, Rajiv.
Thank you, Roy, for having me here tonight. And it's a pleasure being on your show tonight.
Well, it's exciting to have you here. Now tell me, where in the world have you traveled?
I've traveled extensively, especially in the last 2 to 3 years, across much of South Asia, Southeast Asia, and especially Western Europe.
And for me, going around the globe, some of the world is a terrifying place. What was your scariest moment?
I must say I don't necessarily have a scariest moment, but I must say going through border security and through custom officials has tended to proven an affair that is unpleasant at times. They tend to ask a lot of questions that try to confirm who I am, and I believe that is a result of my age and background. And a lot of times they've asked me questions about what do I do, if I'm working, studying, or am I employed in my country. And interestingly, even trying to come back to Canada has proven sometimes difficult. Just 2 months ago, coming back from Malaysia, I was taken aside by a custom officer, and he asked me, can I see your passport? And he took a picture of it and he sent it off to his own officials to verify the legitimacy of it. Then he asked me a series of questions, once again, relating to my status in Canada and my employment history in Canada. So it's really not necessarily a scaring moment, but it's just living in a post-9/11 world, and the uncertainty that it provides can tend to be kind of daunting at times.
Now they say travel opens the mind. What was your most enlightening moment or your most informative moment?
I must say a realization I came upon, especially after traveling last month, is the commonality of all the countries and especially each nation's history. All of these countries, from a third world to a first world, tend to highlight the supremacy and the greatness of their civilization's accomplishments. And it really shows how much our forefathers of many countries have done for their own countries, and it really shaped where we live today in this present day.
Now going around the world, you must have been involved in some very interesting activities or seen some of the sights off the beaten track that the average tourist might not see. Why don't you tell us about those?
Traveling 2 months ago to Cambodia, specifically in Siem Reap, my brother and I took on the challenge of getting on a motorcycle and embarking on a 10-hour journey into a national park, specifically a waterfall on the top of a mountain. The interesting part here is we haven't driven a motorcycle before, so we learned on the back of a side road and embarked on the journey, and it proved quite challenging. The pavements of the roads were different. Some was dirt roads, some were asphalt, and a lot of time there was potholes. But really going up the mountains in a circular motion, trying to avoid trucks, animals, and other vehicles would be scary at times, but finally, after about 4 to 5 hours, reaching that waterfall was absolutely exhilarating, and that is something that would remain with me for a long time to come.
As a motorcycle enthusiast myself, I tell you, I am truly jealous. I would love the opportunity to drive through a national park out in another country. Now, of all the places you've been to, are there any places you would really want to revisit?
Again, it would have to be Cambodia, a country which faced a brutal dictatorship and is now slowly beginning to redevelop. It is really enlightening to see a country where the people can slowly bring themselves back up, and you see a lot of development slowly taking place, and the pride of the people is really something great to see. So I hope to go back in perhaps a decade and see how much development has really taken place and where the country will be in 10 years' time.
Now, Toronto is a world-class city. It's a wonderful place to live. But of all the cities you've gone to, if you couldn't live in Toronto, what city would you pick to move to?
Of all the countries in the world, I would have to choose a country in South Asia. It most likely have to be Mumbai. It is one of India's largest cities, but also the ideal location of it provides the gateway to explore other parts of South Asia, and especially the Middle East and Southeast Asia. So really, it's a good location to see more of the world, but also the country is the city is very vibrant, and the people come from all over the world. So it's not only a great place to live, but also to meet other people from around the world.
As you can see, I enjoy nothing more than a good meal. Where in the world was your favorite meal? Because you have had the chance to experience food from literally all over the world.
I think I would say I'm a simple person. It would have to be in Berlin. Interestingly, I wouldn't call it a meal. I would call it more of a snack. Specifically, it's called Leberwurst, or to translate in English, a liver sausage. The Germans tend to put it into a bun and put a little bit of mustard into it. It may sound foreign to most Canadians, but I urge you all to give it a try, and you may like it as much as I have.
I tell you, you're an interesting guy to travel halfway around the world to have a German hot dog and call that your best meal. Thank you for coming out, and we will see you next month on Scarborough, this Toastmasters this month.